But joining us right now, zooming in, is one of the top defensive prospects in all the land. I saw pretty much every damn near snap he had at the University of Michigan, and he is a G-A-M, grown-ass man. Kris Jenkins Jr. joining me here on the Rich Eisen Show. How are you, Kris? Good to see you, sir.
Great to see you, too. I appreciate you having me.
Oh, my gosh. You have no idea. Seriously. Seriously, sir, congratulations on your run at Michigan, and thank you for it.
Absolutely not. Thank you.
So how'd you get there? How'd you get to the campus of the University of Michigan, Kris? Who knocked on your door back in the day to go to Michigan?
Well, shoot, back in the day, that was back in the day when we had Don Brown, Coach Brown, and we had Coach Newer. They had scouted me out early. They had seen me early. I want to say late in my junior year, and got a chance to go up there, meet Coach Harbaugh, meet Coach Herb, that was all I needed to see, to want to be a Michigan man. So, it was amazing from there. But
what's your favorite Jim Harbaugh story that you can share, Kris? What's your favorite one?
I don't got a specific story, but this is almost like an everyday occurrence where it doesn't matter if we're doing a 6 a.m. workout, we could be doing practice, we could be doing post-practice, conditioning sprints, and he will be joining us in the full fit, the khakis, the cap on, the shades, the polo, and he's getting in work. He's putting in work with Coach Herb, like lifting heavy. And, we were always geeked up to see that and hype them up, but he do med ball carries with us, and he's just a huge weight room guy, and it doesn't matter what fit he's in. He's going to get that work.
Well, when did things turn? When did things turn for the better for the championship years, Kris? You got a time when you were there when you're like, okay, this is different. We're going to start winning, and we're going to start dominating, and we're going to win championships here. When did that happen?
Absolutely. I want to say coming off that COVID season, Coach Harbaugh shot us all an email as a team to all the team players, staff, coaches, and just telling us basically that something needed to change and that pretty much everybody in the organization needed to buy in 100%, to accomplish the goals and the dreams that we had. So that was the earliest introduction to it. And when we met as a team, as a full unit, we talked about that in person, how we needed to change it. And then we had leaders like Aiden Hutchinson, Josh Ross, Cade at the time, and everybody buying in, helping get us young guys to buy in as well. And that's when the magic really happened.
Yeah, and then let's talk about this year in particular. If I'm not mistaken, at least, you were the first one to show up on my social media feed after Jim Harbaugh was suspended by the Big Ten on the flight to Penn State. You were the first one that I saw that posted the word bet, Kris, and there it is right there.
Yes, sir.
Walk me through how this came about with you and your teammates.
Absolutely. Well, for us, we didn't find out till the second the plane touched down, because when everything went down, we were still on the flight to Penn State. So the second you hear us land, you hear all the dings go off, the ringing, everything's out of control. Everybody's trying to figure out, okay, what's going on? So we're getting to the hotel, and all the teams, all the media is talking about the situation going down, and how they expect Michigan to get absolutely torn up by Penn State. As the players, we're watching this, me and my guys are in the room, we're like, all right, bet. You think we got no shot? We got no chance in the world? All right, we're going to show you what it is, bet. And that's kind of how it really sparked. Tweeted that out, and then every single guy, on that team was on the same page. So everybody else tweeted bet in response. And that's how we kind of knew, oh, yeah, it was going to go down.
Yeah, exactly. And so it wasn't like a team meeting, hey, let's all tweet this out together? It just happened like that?
No, it just happened. And that just goes to show you really how magical that team was, because, we were all on the same page with that. We didn't need to have a meeting for it. Once one person saw it, everybody else was standing with each other. And, it was amazing to see.
And then let's snap cut to the Rose Bowl. Overtime in the Rose Bowl. And Milroe and the Alabama Crimson Tide have one more snap to keep this thing going. And if they don't, Michigan goes to the national championship game. Walk me through that moment in the huddle and then what happened and whether you were surprised that it happened the way that it did. Kris Jenkins.
No, absolutely. Well, in the huddle, we're getting ready because this is it. This is that play. And we had 2 plays called based off their formations, based on what we're going to see. But based on the depth we have and the guys across the board, we knew that if they were going to try to run the ball, and we were 99% sure they were going to try and get that ball to Milroe themselves, that we were going to stop them and stuff up their offensive line. So, really watching it, having all the goosebumps going, you really knew that our guys were gonna dominate and get the job done. And once that happened, it was kudos from there. Celebrating, it was cookies.
Did you think at any moment that they'd actually run in your direction, like right in the middle, like actually go in the teeth here, Kris?
Oh, absolutely.
You did.
Absolutely. We knew they were gonna try and get it to their playmaker, and their playmaker, their best player on the field, was Milroe. So we knew if they're gonna try and make some magic happen, they're gonna try and get him the ball. And that's why you see the big boys, especially Josiah, especially KG, really just stuffing it up, clogging up the hole, and they had nowhere to run. So it was, like I said, it was ball game.
And what does it mean to be this national champion that you guys are based on the season, Kris?
Oh, it means everything. We were talking about it as a team. That night when the confetti was falling down, every single piece of confetti, represented the moment. All the hard work we put into that moment, whether it was a 6 a.m. practice, whether it was a workout, conditioning, extra conditioning, all those moments for the past 3 years that we worked so hard to accomplish and to get, that's where that moment really paid off. And there was nothing more magical than that night. And I don't know if I'll really feel a type of moment like that again. It was just too perfect.
Well, I mean, you got next level stuff, Kris. We'll get to that in a second. Did you know as you were going through all this that Harbaugh was going to leave and JJ was going to head to the pros and that this was kind of the last run for you and everyone? Did you pretty much figure that? You know that?
Well, we kind of had a rough idea. Like everybody kind of, figured like this is the perfect way to really just end it. Like if you're going to cap it, you definitely got to cap it right here. So the guys weren't, I wouldn't say we were too surprised about it, but, definitely looking forward to what they're going to do on the next level because they deserve it, and I'm excited for it.
Kris Jenkins here on the Rich Eisen Show. What's your first football memory with your dad being an NFL legacy of note, Kris? What's your first memory? Football.
So my first memory is a game where he was on the Panthers, my uncle was on the Packers, and they had played each other. So the whole fam was there, me, my cousins, my mom, their mom, and we got to get down on the field after the game. And my dad wasn't too happy about it because they had lost, but still got on the field, got to see the Giants, the whole stadium, everything, and it was amazing to see. And that's when I knew right then and there really that I wanted to be on that level. I wanted to be that type of player.
How old were you?
I want to say I was like 6 or 7. It was. I want to say it was in 2006. So I was like 5 or 6. I was young.
Yeah. And that's a first football memory. Now here you are on the precipice of hearing your name called at an NFL draft, and not any NFL draft, but in Detroit and in the state of Michigan. Who have you had your personal visits with, Kris?
Well, a couple of teams. Went on I want to say about 3 or 4 30-day visits. Been fortunate enough to see the Bengals, fortunate enough to meet with the Chargers, the Lions, the Dolphins. So, like I've been hearing, like I've been saying, don't know what's gonna happen, but whatever happens, happens. And I'm just fortunate enough to, be able to see these teams and be a part of this process.
So Harbaugh had you in, huh? Little reunion.
Yes, sir. Big reunion.
Okay. And then Detroit. Did you see Hutch there? Did you see Aiden when you were there?
Oh no, I didn't see Hutch while we were there, but he was definitely he was definitely getting that work in, getting his off-season training in. So no, hopefully or eventually I'll see him.
Okay. But, so what would a team get if they draft Kris Jenkins Jr.?
You're gonna get everything out of me, point blank. Like I'm gonna do everything in my power to be the best player, to be the best teammate, to be the best athlete I could be. From a discipline standpoint, adapting to whatever we face. Especially how we did last year, and really just being a gritty type of player. Like I said, whatever the team needs to win, I'm gonna do it, and I'm not gonna complain about it. I'm not gonna give it a second thought because I just love the game of football and I love the guys. Love being a part of this, process.
So, where are you going to be draft night? What's your draft night plans, Kris?
Oh yeah, so draft night, I'm gonna be with the family. I'm gonna be with the family in Belleville, about like 10-20 minutes from Detroit, and there's nothing too major. We're about to be, getting the wings, doing a bunch of barbecue, getting a bunch of food on. And biggest thing is, we're a football family, so you can't have football. You can't have wings without football, and you can't have wings without bounty. So.
Okay, look at you. Oh, my gosh. What are you doing with PNG and Meyer for the NFL draft, Kris?
Well, I've been fortunate enough to be able to partner with PNG and Meyer in the next step of my career. New career, new faces, new team, new city. And, being able to partner with PNG and Meyer, they're going to keep me ready for anything.
Okay.
So just excited to whatever I need, anything. Just excited to.
And I already heard you work in the bounty mention for your. It's not your first rodeo. You're a Michigan man. You've got it on the ball, right? So
yes, sir. Absolutely. Loyal Michigan man.
I know that. Oh, my gosh. You want to chime in? I asked Sandra Still this yesterday. You want to chime in on the conversation that J.J. McCarthy might not be top 5 worthy, top 10 worthy, elite quarterback worthy because he did not have a lot placed on his arm in a way that a top quarterback would? I already see your facial expression. You want to add words to it? Go for it.
Absolutely. I mean, whoever's saying it, I don't know who's saying that, but with all due respectfully, they're tripping because he's obviously 100% a top 5 quarterback. I'll say it. Anybody would say it, especially anybody that's been on Michigan. Like, he's a top 5 quarterback just from his leadership, his character, his athleticism. He could do anything. You could do anything you ask him to do and more, and he'll go above and beyond to do that. So he's just that guy. He's him. Be honest with you. So he's going to be top 5.
Well, and you know what? I think so too. And the interesting thing enough would be that if he does go top 5, that means Jim Harbaugh would wind up having the first overall pick of the draft, not for a quarterback. If he does, that would actually be kind of wild. And so we'll see. But that's for a guy who had you in for a top 30. And I can't thank you enough for what you did in your time on campus, in the way that you conducted yourself and winning it all. Honestly, you made my world, man. And on behalf of all Michigan, seriously, I'm not going to lie. I mean, this past year was truly, it was a journey for being a fan since having no control over it. But to see your response and leadership and then going on the run that you did, never forget it. So thanks, Kris.
No, my pleasure. Hey, like we've been saying, it's Michigan versus everybody. And, not just the team, but all the fans combined. We weren't going to be able to do this without your love and support. So, real deal. Thank you. Thank you, too. It paid off for all of us. So.
I appreciate that. And look for my call when you get drafted. Love to keep following your career. Thanks again.
Oh, we'll do. We'll do. Absolutely.
You got it. That's Kris Jenkins Jr. here on the Rich Eisen Show, getting ready to hear his name called on draft night here on the Rich Eisen Show. There's Kris Jenkins heading off on his day. Catch the Rich Eisen Show every single day on the Roku channel, 12 to 3 Eastern, for free.